So Under Armour is going back through Curry's line, and today we have the Curry 2 Low Flotro. Retails for $150, and they look nice. Let's do it.
I make this motherfucker bad. Coolie suelta, media loca, baila choca. I make this motherfucker bad. Rebel y grites, gangale. Bandidos en la noche, yo que mando aquí. Ven acá, suelte mami, así me gusta soportar.
Welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to break down the cushion, traction, support, and just like kind of basically hitting on all the performance aspects for this shoe. But first, I do want to take 2 seconds just to say officially, this is our 100th shoe review. And honestly, that's a pretty cool milestone for us. I hope you guys have been like, you know, just kind of enjoying the ride with us. So I guess here's to the next 100 videos. But now getting back on track, like I said in the intro, this is the Curry 2 Low Flotro, and these are going to retail for $150. And honestly, that is not bad. Like I think the original twos in Curry's line, I want to say they were going for like 110, and that was a long time ago, way different market, so I can live with the price. So now moving on to the appearance, the same basic look from Steph's original second model is still going to be there. You know, I mean, pretty much the upper stayed the same for the most part, and that's just like the part in blue. But the midsole is where they switched up the design and also the cushioning tech inside. But I'm about to get into that here in a second. But this is just a super cool color scheme too, in my opinion. Obviously, I think it's like the all-star colorway. But from the side, you're going to see that gold band with like the stars running along the upper. And then near the toe box is going to be that SC branding for his player logo. But actually, that's really cool, I guess, to me again, anyways, because on the tongue, you're going to see Under Armour actually including both logos. So depending on the angle, you're going to see either the old SC text or you'll see that updated logo for Curry's new branding. So I just think they didn't have to do that. So I thought it was kind of cool that was a cool touch that they kind of threw onto the shoe. But I spent more time talking about the appearance because there really isn't the appearance for that section, really a lot else to touch on. Like the backside had the same exact gold overlays with just, you know, some like text and stuff underneath. And honestly, I think these came out really clean. I do like the design, but what's more important about that is how they play. So now let's see how they hold up on the court. So now looking at more of the tech specs and the performance side, I'll start off with the cushioning first. So I do have the Curry 1 Luxe back here behind me, but I never got around to playing in the actual Curry 2s. I wasn't even reviewing shoes back then though. This would have been like, what, 7-8 years ago? But around that time, I think Under Armour was using like a charged cushioning setup. But part of brands, you know, kind of going back through and retroing these shoes is they go through and they update or just kind of clean up some of the materials. So for the Curry 2 Lows, I actually like how they did this. Instead of calling it like a retro model, this is like the Curry 2 Flotro because they use that UA flow foam. And that's going to be just a cushioning technology that's meant to be super light and bouncy. So like, I think this marks 6 shoes now that I played in from Under Armour that have this flow foam setup. And the Under Armour like Future X models use it, but most notably, it is like the main cushioning that's used in Steph's, you know, signature line. And I want to say they switched over to that on the 8s, and then it's like been there from the 8, 9, 10s kind of ever since. And honestly, I've had like a mixed playing experience with that UA flow foam. Like it plays a little bit softer on the 8s and the 10s compared to like the 9s or those Future X models. Those were a little bit more firm, but I do want to say the Curry 2 Flotro, it's going to lean more towards the softer side. Like the cushioning underneath the footbed it's not going to be stiff, and it does loosen up pretty quick, you know, the more you kind of move around in them. And you know, they are going to give you the same balanced feel, maybe a little bit of extra padding in the heel, which obviously isn't going to hurt. But using our durometer to check out the midsole, these were reading at a 30 even. And that flow foam, like that they use on the outsole, that's just always crazy soft. It gives us a super low reading. That's going to be better for cushioning more so than it would be for durability. But overall, the cushioning plays really nice, especially compared to like how the original Curry 2s felt, I'm sure. So now getting into more of the materials and the support, truthfully, I just like how the shoe is built. Just like the whole model construction feels nice. And the upper is going to be made out of a combination of like mesh in the front half and also like running up the tongue. You'll get a little bit more of a filled in like plush design on the back half of the shoe, but the purpose of this was to help keep this model lightweight and provide seamless and comfortable fit. And you're also going to have an open cell foam sock liner that is supposed to help with the comfort too. And I guess I could have included that last section, but I mean, I really can't get too deep into like this review or this portion of the review without bringing up the common denominator. And that is every model that has this flow foam like outsole ended up being a crazy light shoe to hoop in. And the Curry 2 Flotro is right on brand, weighing 352 grams for a size 10.5. And like, to me, that's major. I love lighter shoes. I played in and reviewed the Harden 7s last week. And when I tell you, like, night and day. And for context, the Harden 7s weigh like 500 grams. And some people like heavier models, especially especially like for some extra reinforcement. And I would agree with that sometimes, especially like on light models that don't have a supportive feel, but these do. So one thing I always like to credit Under Armour with is their heel counter. Like these have a really molded heel for an enhanced, I think it's meant to be for like enhanced lockdown and stability, and you get that feel. Like the Curry 9s, those almost fit like a glove, and they had a really molded setup. It's a little bit toned down on the Flotro, but you get the same lockdown. It's still going to be there. Plus you have those gold overlays for some extra containment on the side. Not a lot outside of that, but you're not going to see like midfoot bands, kind of anything along those lines to kind of help more, but I just don't think this shoe needs it. The Curry 2 Flotro plays really nice, really solid for both of these categories. Wrapping it up with the traction, that's another spot on this model where like a big change was made to what was being previously used. The only problem is it's pretty much the exact same like alteration that was made for the cushioning. So these are going to get that durable UA Flow outsole that is meant to provide a better court feel so you can cut, stop, and start faster than ever before. And that's kind of how Under Armour just like lays it out on their website. And this is always like a fun section to cover. It's also easy because every shoe so far that has used this traction setup, it plays the exact same way. Elite. But I will say this, it's going to be to varying degrees, just depending on like your playing surface a little bit. Like this is a foam material, so the outsole, it doesn't bite the floor all that well whenever it gets sturdy. So if you have a dusty court, you will have to do some like occasional swiping. On clean courts though, they don't miss a beat. But with that being said, I mean, that foam, I would highly recommend trying to keep these on an indoor court. Like durability is not going to hold up all that well on a rougher surface. But finishing off with the sizing, as always, I did go true to size, and that is what I would recommend. The length is going to be perfect, but they do run slightly narrow. I think you can tell that even just from like, you know, looking at them on your foot, but I mean, it's just not going to be a super wide fit. But overall, the Curry 2 Low Flotro is easily like the best retro model that I've played in so far. Like the cushion isn't going to be like blowing you away or anything like that, but it still feels good. The support's going to be solid even without, you know, all of the additional features, and the traction goes crazy again. Plus I just love how light the shoe is to hoop in. So I don't like really endorse retro models as like performance all that often, but at $150, I would recommend giving the Curry 2 Low Flotro a shot. Thank you guys for taking some time to watch. Feel free to throw us a follow or a sub if you like this video. And if you're interested in buying the Curry 2 Low Flotro and you want to support our channel, just click the link here on screen, or we have links down below or in our bio. Feel free to check that out. But until next review, I'm Landon from Shoewear. Peace.